Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I'm bringing you another questionnaire. But I am joined with...
Jax Blade.
Yes, and you guys may know Jax. He's been one of the absolute oldest subscribers that I have. He was the first, I guess you could say, relatively popular person to ever find my channel, because he's the first person with over 10k subs to ever, basically find me, and he's done a lot to help, my channel's growth and all, along with a lot of you who've also helped out. So I really appreciate, all of Jax's contributions. He's given me some topic ideas, and, I thought that it would be nice if I had him in for a questionnaire, as I'd do for you guys as well in the comment section below. So without wasting any more time, Jax and I are gonna answer some questions for a while. So Jax, would you like to ask the first one out here?
Oh sure, thanks for having me, and let me get to it. Hey Qaaman, was checking out some of your DBZ vids and had an idea for a video. If you haven't already been asked, I was wondering what your opinion was if Gohan kept training in the 7 years between Cell and the World Tournament. How strong would Gohan be? Could he beat Buu and when he was first released?
What do you think, Jax?
Alright, now here's my personal opinion. Alright, I think Gohan, if he had stayed training, because we gotta look at this from this point. After he beat Cell, he was probably the strongest conscious, one of the strongest conscious beings in the universe, and his power was just unbelievable. So I believe if he had just had that, mentality, just went to Bulma and was like, hey Bulma, can I get a gravity chamber or something to, keep my strength up while I read my books and stuff like that. I think his power level would have been much greater than Majin Vegeta's, in my personal opinion. I think if he was consistent and had his training way, I think he would have been outclassed Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan 2 forms, but fighting Fat Buu and decimating him just by that, I'm not so sure.
Well, here's the thing, Jax. It comes down to two things. I definitely think he'd be way stronger than what he was at the World Martial Arts Tournament. Can he go Super Saiyan 3? I'm not 100% sure because of the conditions that he would have been training on. However, I will tell you this. If Gohan trained throughout those years and he still managed, and he was still weaker than Fat Buu, but then somehow got his power unlocked and...
Missing style?
Right, and he got a boost on top of training, I can't even imagine how strong he would be. So Gohan would be ridiculously powerful, and I think that if he could turn Mystic, he was still so much stronger than Super Buu anyways. It really doesn't make a difference, does it? I think maybe he might have been able to handle Gotenks, but maybe that's a stretch. Maybe I'm going too far to say that, but he would definitely have handled Super Buu easier.
Yes, I definitely agree with that 100%, dude. If he had that ability, God, I could just imagine, because just imagine Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as a kid getting the Mystic power up. Exactly. Just imagine how lethal that guy would be. Okay, so you can only comprehend and fathom what that would be. Oh.
Yeah, he'd be ridiculously strong.
Oh God, it wouldn't even be a contest.
Now, so this question was, these questions have been asked, we're starting from 3 months ago, and one thing that I wanted to point out is that if we're starting from 3 months ago, some of these questions may be a little bit dated, but I wanted to give a lot of people who asked their questions from the past a chance. Ironically, I'd say, about an hour ago, I uploaded my reaction on the Frieza trailer. This video might come out a week or two after I recorded it, because I have another video planned for this week. But this question's asking, what is Frieza's original form? Now, Jax, the trailer's been recently released about what his new form will be with the Los Angeles Lakers looking colors, so skin color, I mean. So, what do you think, Jax? What do you think Frieza's original form was? Do you think that's his original form, or do you think he just trained to attain it, or what?
I think he came out of an egg, and then, original form, are you saying what he started off as, what he was born as, or are you saying Kid Buu, Kid Buu's his original form, but he has to go into these other forms because that form is too powerful to control?
What he was born as.
Okay, well, what he was born as, I think this new form is just something I'm just making assumptions again. I think he's probably done something have his scientists do something that powers up his body to a point that he can transform. Instead of training, he probably has a steroid way of injecting his body with something which allows him to become this new and improved form, which just looks like a less cooler version than his brother. Haha. But I'm just saying, like, I think his original form is probably. Well, wait, hold on one second. Like, I just want to clarify this. Didn't he say in the show that when he was in his other form, he said he goes to that form because when he's in his final form, the power is just too strong?
Exactly, and I do remember reading something. I think it was Frieza who said it in the manga. I'm not 100% sure because it's been a while since I've heard this specific thing, but I think he said that he goes into that form to have more control over himself because he's more sadistic in his other forms, which is ironic because Frieza's sadistic anyways, but I think his original form could possibly be his final form, but we don't know anything because Fukkatsu no F still probably by the time this goes up still has not been released yet. I doubt I'll take this long to upload this, so I think that whatever his original form was, I think he's trained himself to attain new forms. Now, I know this isn't canon, but how Cooler was saying, I've trained myself how to get to a new form. So I think Frieza's original form could probably be his final form and he regressed to it, but they can still train themselves to learn new forms, which is interesting. So they have their natural forms, they train themselves to get to other forms, or I guess to restrict their power, and then at the same time they can learn new ones, which shows that maybe Frieza's race, or some people are now calling the Arcosians, have a lot of depths to what they can possibly do.
Okay, so they're just like Saiyans, they can just pull out a transformation for every freaking thing they want to. Well, okay.
Jax, the answer is whatever the hell Toriyama wants goes.
Exactly, whatever he wants.
Oh, Jax, I think you would definitely want to ask this question right here.
I'll answer your questions.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Well, we are. I've been doing questionnaires a lot more frequently. I missed one last week, but I mean, I had so many other videos to work on. But don't worry, guys. These questionnaires are going to be a lot more frequent. And by the way, this was 3 months ago, so I'm not, upset.
Yeah.
Hey, Qaaman, my question is, what if Raditz and Nappa were brought back to fight on the side of the Z Warriors, either during Namek or after? Would Tails and Ape transformations play a much major part of the series, and would we see Super Saiyan apes, and would the arcs play out more with the Saiyans? Eric Burbano. Here's my thing, Eric, and I'm sure Jax is probably going to agree. If you want to talk about Namek, it's not going to make a difference because Namek hasn't had a moon, from my recognition at least. I don't think they had any moons. I know they had multiple suns, but that's why the planet was always,
sun. It was always
sun.
daytime.
It was always like basically daytime until, Frieza started blowing up the planet. Then it looked like it was nighttime. But if you think about it, because of that, I mean, Namek has no real moon, so I don't think it would make a difference on Namek at all. Maybe afterwards.
What was that plan? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say maybe afterwards they could, play a role potentially, but I don't see it because at that point maybe Super Saiyan would have been superior to the Great Ape transformation, and so I don't really think it would have made a major difference in the series, only because Super Saiyan makes Great Apes irrelevant, especially due to size. I mean, you don't move as fast, I'm assuming, and you're not as sapient. Even though Vegeta is sapient in his form, and he can still think and, act rationally, he still wouldn't be as sapient as he would be regularly. So I see all the disadvantages would be, huge. And not to mention, they could cut it off too.
Exactly. So like that like first of all, the tail is like one of the major weaknesses in that form. And then like if any of you guys have ever played DBZ Budokai Tenkaichi series, like just remember how easy it was just like to go back and just Death Beam or Kamehameha because they were always far away and just spam that attack. So it's like if Frieza wanted to, he could just like fly up, Death Beam right through the chest, and it's done.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so we could both agree that Super Saiyan 4 and regular Super Saiyans completely outweigh the regular Ozawa transformation. So
straight up, man.
There's no way I can see it playing a big difference. But it's a good question, Eric Burbano. Alright, back in the Piccolo Jr. saga in Dragon Ball, how did Piccolo get his demon outfit? Because when King Piccolo spit the egg, he was naked inside the egg, so was just wondering, where did he get his clothes? Did he use his clothes beam, which is seen throughout Dragon Ball Z, and was he even able to use it on himself? Great question, J. Cool. I never really thought about this ever. That's a very good question because Piccolo was a baby when he was in that egg, and it's really the only time we ever got to see a Namek's toes from what I remember. But
yeah.
But I find this pretty interesting. I mean, I would think that Piccolo was gifted with enough powers that he could put clothes on himself, because Thundershot and I have made jokes about this, how he just like shoots a beam and like clothes comes on Gohan. They never discussed this.
Natural attack.
Exactly, and Kibito did the same thing too to Gohan, if I remember correctly, in the Buu saga, when Gohan wanted Goku's clothes. Yeah. So,
yes, exactly.
I mean, because of all of this, I mean, I think that it's just a power. It's never explained how it happens. I think it's just written, but if I had to guess, I'd say clothes beam. What do you think, Jax?
Yeah, I say clothes beam most definitely. Because, like, remember when he came out the egg, he was, like, smiling. Because we got to think, he was, like, he was, like, 3 years old at the tournament when he fought at. And Goku was 18. And he was already, like, pretty much equal, if not... Yeah, he was, like, much smarter than Goku, like... But physically, he couldn't, like, match it. Well, they were, like, on pretty much equal terms. But I would say, like, as soon as he came out the egg, like, since he still had, like, King Piccolo's consciousness in him, like, that really affected him. Like, he matured faster, and he just was like, oh, I can shoot beams of clothes out my hands, so this, and then... you know what's also weird about King? He ate stuff, and then Nameks don't eat. Like, he ate a fish.
Yeah, it's also been implied because in the anime there was a scene where Chi-Chi said she's tired of cooking for all three of them, and Piccolo's like, I'm tired of fish. But so it's been very inconsistent in the series whether or not Nameks need to eat or not.
Again, Toriyama.
My guess is that I think maybe they could eat, but I think that based off of their physiology, they don't need to, but they could if they want to. And that's what I basically think the closest. But that's another good question, J. Cool. Speaking of J. Cool, we have another question from him. Why don't you take this one, Jax?
Okay, sure. I was also wondering, how come Future Trunks didn't use his resources to beat the androids by resource? I mean, he didn't use the gravity chamber, 8 hyperbolic time chamber, and stuff like that. Please answer my question soon.
Well, J. Cool, I apologize for not answering your question soon because it's been 3 months. But looking at your question, it's a very good question. I think it's just an inconsistency. I've said this before because some people were saying, why didn't Future Gohan take Future Trunks into the hyperbolic time chamber? Was the lookout destroyed? We don't know a lot of these things about the history of Trunks timeline, and that's one thing that I've never liked. I wish they had expanded on it more. As a matter of fact, the history of Trunks does way more than what the manga does. The manga has one chapter called the Trunks the Story, and basically they don't even show Gohan's fight against Android 17. By the way, he didn't fight 18 in the manga, just 17. They didn't show Gohan's fight against the androids. They didn't show Gohan's fight against the androids previously like they did in the history of Trunks. They didn't show the Z Fighters being killed in like 5 seconds in the beginning. And they didn't show Trunks turning into a Super Saiyan, but the reason is because in the manga, Trunks already knew how to turn Super Saiyan. So there's so many differences and changes. So honestly, I just think that they could have done so much more with that story, you know? I can't imagine Goku not talking to Gohan from the afterlife at least once.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I just think it's an inconsistency. And that's just my honest opinion. What do you say, Jax?
I agree with that completely, because, like, there's so many times, like, if Goku died from his heart virus, and then, like, Gohan's been training so many years by himself, I'm pretty sure he could have just went up to King Yama or King Kai and just put his hand on his shoulder and be like, Gohan, all right, I need you to focus, all right, you need to concentrate, you need to train here. There's a place at Kami's Lookout that does this. You can train within a year's time. Take Vegeta's son there, go do that. And it's just like, why didn't you ever do that, Goku? It was like, once you die in this universe, you're officially dead. And then, like, apparently the senzu plant, like, went extinct. Yeah. And so, like, they couldn't use senzu beans. Like, they were, like, so rare and few of them anymore. And so it's just like, why? Just what happened? What caused that to happen? So the androids destroying the Earth do that? Like, why is this happening? Like, I really wish I went into more detail. Though that is one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z TV specials of all time.
Yeah, there aren't that many of them, but yeah, it's definitely my favorite. I actually think Trunks' story is my favorite arc in the whole series, and I just feel like it was just so wasted. I mean, because we always see all the Dragon Ball Z fighters always defeating their enemies. It's kind of interesting to see like an anti-world where, you know, the opposite happened, and what if the Z fighters basically failed to stop the androids and Goku's death? I thought it was a great series. But yeah, I think it's just an inconsistency, J. Cool. Alright, let's see. What if Buu had never absorbed Grand Supreme Kai? How would that affect the Buu saga when he was hatched from the Seal Ball? What do you have to say, Jax?
Well, he would have just destroyed the planet. That would have happened. That's pretty much it. Like, it's Kid Buu, right? Like, no, it's Buff Buu. Because if he had never absorbed the Grand Supreme Kai, then he would still be, like, you know, a reckless, like, monster, and then like that Buu was so much stronger than Fat Buu. So it's like there's like no one really you could like fight him, and then like the thing about Fat Buu is you could kind of talk to Fat Buu. I mean,
Hercule did.
Yeah, Hercule did and stuff like that. Hercule tried to talk to Buff Buu, he would like break his neck, and he's just so sadistic and gone and just such a force of nature. Then I think they're pretty much screwed, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Jax. The only thing I could really add to it is, I mean, maybe with Kid Buu, he would probably destroy Bobbity without question. I mean, Bobbity would be like, I can seal you again. And Kid Buu would just laugh.
He should just do that.
Yeah, he'd just like blow him up. I mean, there's nothing they could do. And if Kid Buu was released first, that's going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of people. Because first of all, with that much power, because you remember, Kid Buu is way stronger than Fat Buu. I'm not saying Kid Buu is stronger than Super Buu or any of the Super Buu forms, but Kid Buu is way stronger than Fat Buu, which means that if he was released, I mean, Vegeta would have been struggling instantly. Gotenks would probably have not messed around.
Yeah, and then like Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like, well, like, because that's kind of a different thing. Because like I remember when he was fighting Kid Buu, he said to Vegeta, like, maybe early on if I had like used my full power, I could have like destroyed him. But I like held back to let the fight drag on so you could have a turn or something like that. So it's like one of those. Goku was the best shot right there for fighting Kid Buu, but it's like how long would you be able to last, and would Kid Buu with his perpetual energy be able to like just wear you out, and then you have to go back to Otherworld?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I want to say really quickly is I know that some subscribers may have been turned off a bit when I said that when Gotenks would have held back less. Don't keep in mind, I'm not talking because of power, because I do think it's been proven from some of my subscribers from my earlier video. I used to think that Super Saiyan 3 Goku was stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, but now you guys have convinced me that Gotenks was stronger because of the whole Buff Buu thing. Yeah. Now, and also because of the fact that Goku thought that Gotenks in his Super Saiyan 1 form could beat Fat Buu. So because of that, I'm not saying that Kid Buu would have been stronger than Super Buu. So Gotenks, in terms of fighting Kid Buu, may have had a slightly easier time. I'm saying because of the type of fighter that Kid Buu is, Gotenks would not have held back, because Super Buu, to some degree, was allowing the fight to drag on himself. Like when he was allowing fun with it. Exactly, like when he was allowing them to fuse, and how Piccolo was like basically toying him into the fight.
And he was just drinking soda. And
exactly.
He was just like paying his line. He's just like that fight was like, for a part of it, it was like slapstick. It was just like
with Kid Buu around, Gotenks would have no choice but to go like 100%. As a matter of fact, I what am I even talking about? Guys, I apologize for so incorrectly answering this question. With Kid Buu, there would have this point would have never even have happened. There wouldn't have no time to go into a hyperbolic time chamber. I can't see Piccolo telling Kid Buu, hey, let's go into the hyperbolic time chamber. Kid Buu would have wiped out the planet the whole time, and Goku would have had to have killed him in Super Saiyan 3 and not even waste his time with Vegeta. That's what would have happened, guys. I'm so sorry for wasting all this time with this question. I apologize.
Where you were going. I thought you were like trying to say like, oh, he started off as this.
Didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about that.
If you think about it, because like if Kid Buu came out, pop. All right, there's Deborah, there's Bobbity, there's Gohan, there's Supreme Kai. Okay, most likely Gohan, Supreme Kai, all of them are just gonna die. That's most likely what's gonna happen. Okay, Vegeta probably tries to fight him, but we saw how well Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta did against him, got mopped. All right, so Goku would have to get healed somehow, like really quickly, and then just go, okay, I can't waste time, Super Saiyan 3, and go at him, because he wouldn't have time to like teach all the kids how to do that, because Boo, how sadistic Kid Buu was. He would probably enjoy like destroying like people way more than Fat Buu ever did. He would just like lose his mind because he's just so insane. Yeah, screaming brains out.
All I gotta say before we move on to the next question is this: Me Boo, kill you.
Me Boo, kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry guys I apologize for spending so much time on that question, guys, but I had completely forgotten that they wouldn't even have gotten to that point. All right, let's see. How did Goku catch the heart virus? Great question. I've been asked this before. I'll consider making a video on it one day. My theory is that he contacted it at some point where he went to like a city. Now, the filler goes with the whole thing where he was driving with Piccolo. That's a filler thing. I think that It's been implied that Goku may have gotten the virus when he went to that city to confront the androids in the present. It's been hinted that that's how he got it in the present, because he didn't cough or do anything like that or show any symptoms prior to that. So why would it randomly affect him then? That's what the theory was, because that's the only point where he was some point in contact with with other people. Now, I don't understand why it would affect Goku and not the rest. We don't know, but that's a theory. The other theory is that Goku got it because of stress over time on his heart. That's another theory, and some people say he also got it on Yardrat. I think Yardrat makes the most sense.
That was the one I was going to say, because I remember years ago, like I'm talking like 1990s, like, but for you kids out there, like when we first started getting computers and stuff like that, and we had the Dragon Ball Z websites, they would like have these certain sites, then they would say like Goku contracted this heart virus from the planet Yardrat. So I was like, really? That's where he got it from? And then that's what I've honestly thought all these years, is that he got it from that planet.
The reason I say Yardrat, and the reason why I think that makes the most sense, is because when you look at all the other scenarios, Yardrat makes the most sense, because in the other scenarios, I could see other characters getting affected too, because they were near Goku. Like in Trunks' timeline, we don't know how Goku got it. But, I mean, if you look at Trunks' timeline, I mean, if those characters were around him, they should have gotten it too, especially because Trunks said it was ridiculously contagious. One thing that I do have to say really quickly about all of this, though, is that because Yardrat is far away, it makes the most sense for that to have affected him, because Goku was the only one who was on Yardrat.
Yes.
And the whole thing, some of you might say, why was it postponed? Why was the virus postponed? Well, because, you know, like they said, Trunks' timeline screws up a lot of things that were supposed to take place that change, so.
And also, like, people get cancer and, like, not even realize it until months and months later. Like,
exactly.
So it could be something like that.
Yeah. So that's a great question, J. Cool. J. Cool's been asking us some good questions, huh, Jax?
He has been really good.
I love this. Thanks, J. Cool. All right, let's see. I was watching your Frieza is a perfect pick for the 2015 movie. Yeah, this.
Okay.
Yeah, this video is not new. Do you think they are going to? Oh my god, this is so funny. Do you think they are going to include Cooler and King Cole? And do you think they're going to show King Cole's power or transformations, like perhaps evolving or showing Frieza's mother? What do you think? What irony that we are doing this topic on the day that they released the trailer. What are the chances of that, Jax? No. Because of the trailers that have been released and the manga chapter, I don't think we're gonna see any King Cole or any Cooler in it. I don't think Cooler really exists in the manga to begin with. It's maybe implied that he potentially exists, but I mean, and if you look at the series, he could potentially fit in the timeline. The first Cooler movie, the second Cooler movie makes absolutely no sense. So because of that, maybe, but I don't see Cooler. I doubt would be in this because it would cause so many inconsistencies. And King Cole, I doubt. What do you think, Jax?
I agree completely. Like, I think they might have a flashback to King Cole, like saying, like, "Oh, well, son, we have this ability to do that," and it'd be a pretty cool thing to like see Cooler, like with him, like, "Oh, father, why are you wasting your time on that weakling?" or something like that, and just like his father explaining, like, "Look, sons, you have the ability to go surpass your normal power, which you have, which is already great. You just have to go into it." So that would, to me, I would really love a scene like that. So. But I'm not sure. Like, again, I just think it would be a flashback scene. I don't think they'll be in it, like, physically in it.
Right. Well, that's a great question, though. And I think Cooler probably wouldn't be in it. And shout out to Rhymestyle really quick. He sent me a message talking about how in this new film, they were basically saying that when they said Baba told Frieza to watch out for Majin Buu, it was Papa, his father. So that's a little shout out to Rhymestyle as he told me about that. All right, moving on. Hey, what if Cooler alerted Frieza or killed Goku as he was flying from planet Vegeta to Earth? What could happen? I mean, honestly, I can't do this topic because it's so ambiguous, because killing Goku literally changes every single thing in the entire manga and anime. There will be nothing similar, so I have no idea to base my predictions on how this would change the series on. It's a complete walk in the dark. Now, it even changes Jocko the Galactic Patrolman. So every event in the series would be so different if Goku was sent to Earth. So I can't answer that, unfortunately. But I do think, generally speaking, if they killed Goku, Raditz would never go to Earth, and I think that Raditz would just work for Frieza's empire, and Frieza would probably never be defeated unless Beerus got bored and decided to kill him. If you know.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. What do you say, Jax?
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Because like you got to think like, okay, so like Grandpa Gohan, he'd still be alive. Bulma, would she find all the Dragon Balls? Okay, like stuff like that. Would the Red Ribbon Army take over most of the planet? Or
would
like,
King
Master
Piccolo
Roshi
ever be released?
Yeah, would he ever be really? Because Emperor Pilaf, would he make his wish to the dragon? Would like all this? Like, it's so ambiguous. Like you said, there's so many things you could like go into. That's like a whole nother video topic for another.
Exactly. It's a great question. It's just too ambiguous for me to give you a direct answer. But long story short, Frieza's empire still lasts, and unfortunately, there would be no Fugatsu no F.
No Fugatsu no F.
All right. What if Cooler decided to alert for? We just answered this one, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, this guy asked me the same question 3 times in a row. Darren Billow. Okay.
Yeah, he really wanted that question answered.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks. Hey man, can you do a video about Master Roshi? He's immortal or not, and how? It's been implied from mostly the anime that Master Roshi's an immortal. From the manga, from what I get, there's a whole theory going on that him being the turtle hermit has a connection to turtles, because Jax, you probably know that turtles are very long-living creatures.
Yeah, they are.
So, honestly, I think that Master Roshi is not immortal. I just think he has a very extended lifespan from drinking the Fountain of Youth. Alright, have you watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged on YouTube made by Team 4-Star? Who hasn't? I think it's impossible to be on YouTube without hearing about them. Do you like them, Jax?
Of course, I love them. I'm good. I know a few of them.
Why didn't you ever teach Gohan how to dodge? Is one of my favorite lines.
Exactly. Dodge! Yeah, that is the best.
Or Vegeta's sex scene with Bulma. Hey, Vegeta, did you... Wait, Vegeta, where's your condom? What's a condom?
Condom.
Alright.
Oh, God.
Alright, hey, Qaaman, I'm Rybstall and I'm your #1 fan. Can you do a Legacy of Goku Buu part, please? Yes, you're awesome. Bye. Yes, I will do it. I had a technical problem, guys, but I'm fixing it, and I'm almost done with the technical problem. Once I'm done with the technical problem, I'll resume my playthrough just as normal. Don't worry about it. Thanks for calling me awesome. But you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome for putting me here where I am now. All right, where was my question? Oh yeah, it's up here. Alright, why can't Goku, Gohan, Vegeta grow their tails when they're all big? Why didn't Trunks and Goten get their tails? I think it's just a Saiyan thing. I did a video on Trunks and Goten talking about their tails and how they would affect the series if they had it. But I think, honestly, Jax, I think the recessive trait thing is probably a more accurate reason as to why Goten and Trunks didn't get him. Yeah. The real answer is Toriyama said in an interview that he had forgotten. There's so many different ways you can clog it up. You could say, oh, maybe they were born with it, but they were cut off at birth. But then the whole Bio Broly ending with them, being babies without it could cause a confusion. But we don't know what exactly they look like when they were born, especially with Goten. But I think it's just a kid thing. I mean, there's so many differences between having a kid's body and an adult's body, I mean, it's kind of like saying, why was I growing taller when I was a kid,
Exactly.
That's kind of how I look at it. I look at it similar to human physiology in that way. Like how we as boys grow taller every year until we're full-grown men. Or, some people grow, stop growing earlier and some grow longer. But, I think it's a similar thing. I think it's just, basically when you're a kid, you grow it back. As you get older, you matured. It doesn't. What do you think, Jax?
Exactly. For me, I used to have so many different theories until Akira Toriyama straight up said, well, I forgot. And then it's just kind of like, well, okay, those kind of go by theory. Well, what I kind of thought was, the recessive thing as well. Maybe they just didn't get it. Or maybe they had to do something. I don't... Because the thing is, Gohan was born with his, and then Goku was born with it. And, here's another thing. I know this may be kind of going off topic, but it goes with the thing, when they lose their tails, how often can they, grow another one? Because, Goku lost his tail, a few times in Dragon Ball, and then Gohan lost his, a few times, twice, and then they just like pop up whenever. Then Vegeta lost his, and it never came back. So it's like, is there like a certain number of times you can lose it before it's like permanently gone or something like that? So
I think that it has to do with how young you are. I think when Goku and Gohan were losing it, they were really young, and Vegeta lost his when he was a mature Saiyan. I can't give you right. I can't give you an exact number because I mean we don't know exactly what age, and every person would vary. You know, every person stops growing at a different age. But I think that it's all dependent on the actual amount of age that the character is. I think if they're younger, it grows back more. If they're older, it never grows back.
Okay, so pretty much like teeth and baby teeth.
Yeah, and that would imply that Goten and Trunks were never meant to have them because it never grew on them at any point. But then again, that's going back to Toriyama forgetting.
Exactly.
So let's move on from here. All right, hey Qaaman, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, and I wanted you to do a video on when Gohan fought Majin Buu when Buu was first hatched. I do not believe Gohan was Super Saiyan 2 because he had so much energy drained and he was very weak. Can you explain if it would have made a difference and why? Super Saiyan 2 Gohan would not have made a difference. The anime implies that he's Super Saiyan 2 because when he turned Super Saiyan 2, when he was powering up that Kamehameha against against that Buu ball.
Yeah, he was like flashing back to when he killed Cell.
Right, and he actually had electricity around him, so that's why I think that Gohan was Super Saiyan 2, but I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, it didn't do anything, and if Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta couldn't do anything against Fat Buu, there's no way that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan could have made a difference. Maybe against Dabura, in the fight against Dabura, it's been implied that he wasn't Super Saiyan 2 because of Goku saying, Gohan, just remember what you were as a kid. And, you know, I think that because of that, I don't think Gohan was a Super Saiyan 2 against Dabura yet. But I think that if he was when he was shooting it against the ball, and I don't think it would have made a difference at all. What do you think, Jax?
Yeah, I agree. Like, because the thing is, like, when you watch that scene, I mean, I think he was a Super Saiyan 2 when he was shooting the Buu ball, but again, like, even if he was full powered, he is just so incredibly weakened from what he was. And even if it was Teen Gohan, I mean, I do think Teen Gohan, even though he would still get his, you know, butt whooped, I think he would do a better job. Of course, he would do a much better job of like fighting Buu, but it wouldn't matter. Like, you saw how he was just rocked. He just got rocked and sent into freaking almost into outer space and almost died. Still, freaking guy saved him. And then Vegeta came, and like you said, he was Super Saiyan 2, and his Super Saiyan 2 was even stronger than Gohan's apparently as a kid. So, yeah, it would not make any difference. I honestly would not make any difference unless he was like training those 7 years again. I honestly don't see anything happening.
Right. So I guess we both agree, but yeah, I definitely think he was Super Saiyan 2. And the whole thing about the energy drain, it's implied that he got his health or energy back when Kibito healed him. So that's my answer to that. All right, I'm not gonna. I want Jax to ask to ask the next one because he already knows my answer to this. So Jax, feel free to read this one.
Hey Qaaman, what do you think is the most badass character in Dragon Ball Z?
Answer it for me, please, Jax.
Piccolo.
Thank you. What's yours?
No, Super Saiyan 2 Kid Gohan is the beastliest mother.
Okay. Fine. All right. Here's my thing, guys. I've said this before. Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan is actually my favorite character of all time. Piccolo isn't. But the reason why I don't call Gohan my favorite character is because I like that version of Gohan more than all of the other forms of Gohan. I'm not a big fan of Gohan as an adult, even though Black and Fist made a video talking about why that is. And I'm not really a fan of Gohan when he was really young and like the Buu saga. He wasn't my favorite character then. And I like all forms of Piccolo. So that's the reason I consider Piccolo my favorite character. But if we're just talking specifics, that Teen Gohan version is just incredible. The way he fought those Cell Juniors and just like
he did not fight them. He freaking
just ripped them up.
He wasn't even a champ. Oh my god. You know one thing though, like, I know ever since Dragon Ball Z Budokai came out, they call that version Teen Gohan. But to me, Teen Gohan lost his damn mind and started doing that Great Saiyan Man BS.
Oh,
so
man.
and then you watch, if you me and you both read the manga, and in the manga he was like 9 years old when he fought Cell. He was 11 in the anime. So it's like, I just even though he wasn't the young kid he was, I still call him like a kid because I don't want to confuse Teen Gohan with that Great Saiyan Man nonsense.
Exactly, dude. But I'm sure we all agree that Teen Gohan is the most badass, but I want to say Piccolo because I like all forms of him. All right, let's move on from here. All right, so moving on to the next question here. New DBZ confirmed trailer. Okay, Kevin Steiner, this was sent 3 months ago, so it's probably not new right now. All right, so let's just move on to the next.
Okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on. And Jax, how funny is it that there's already a new that there literally is a new trailer released today about Frieza.
So, I know, it's crazy, man.
By the way, guys, if you want a quick secret about all of this questionnaire that I'm doing with Jax is actually going to be kind of different because I have 11,895 questions in this one, but I'm actually planning to do this, to upload this Jax Blade one 2 questionnaires from now. So I'm going to do one by myself, and then I'm going to do this Jax Blade one, because I wasn't expecting to have a chance to do this video with him early. So there's a little secret for you guys. All right, so let's move on from this comic book thing. New DBZ confirmed trailer. Yeah, fine. So guys, when you see the comment section and you see my next questionnaire actually has more questions than this one, but yet it was uploaded earlier, you will know why. It's our little secret for those of you who stick around for 37 minutes in this video. All right, so what if Broly was controlled by Babidi and not Vegeta?
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
That would be, they would just be effed. I mean, first of all, I don't think, again, like, since, you know, Paragus can control Broly, I don't think Babidi could fare much better. And just to think of, like, a legendary Super Saiyan with Majin powers, that's just... I feel like Goku would just have to pull out stops and go Super Saiyan 3 right then and there to stop him. Okay, that's what I honestly think.
But if he could, I mean, I think that Broly's more... I'm not saying he's stronger than Buu. I'm saying he's more insane, and I think he could cause a lot of problems because he would just be berserk. He would just... And the minute he sees Goku, there's going to be problems. If he sees Gohan and Goten too, there's going to be problems because remember, you know, Goten and Gohan look like Goku. That's exactly. That was more implied in Broly's second coming. When he saw Goten, he started saying Kakarot, and also when Gohan came, he started saying Kakarot too because they look like him. So he started losing his mind. So
yeah, exactly. So he's just gonna be, oh my god, I can just fathom this. Yeah. Like just literally picturing all of this out. That planet. What would stop him from like blowing up the planet as soon as he turns? Because he like just did that for fun when he was like 12 years old. He would just go blowing up planets with his dad. So it's just.
You know what? I'll just say this really for fun, for a little bit of a comical moment. One scene that I will never forget about Broly for the rest of my life is the most psychopathic thing he's ever said. I like how you guys are always looking up into your planet, thinking one day you could possibly go back. Well, it was just a dream.
Oops, did I just blow it up?
Isn't that, Jack, you have to admit, wasn't that such a psychopathic, sick, sadistic piece of shit moment about a person?
It was.
God dang it, man. That is horrible.
He just caused a whole genocide of like 6 billion probably poor little aliens. It's so sad to think about.
How would you feel if you're just sitting on this random planet and you see your whole planet just get blown up?
I know. It's just evil.
It's just a dream.
And look how fast he did too. He was just like literally, it was just like a flick of a wrist. He wasn't even trying. It was like one of those just like, oh, I have a key blast that can destroy a freaking ocean with that's the size of a golf ball. It was like, oh, I have this key blast the size of a volleyball. Oh, what means that's your planet? Boom! Get out of here.
That is something else. Man. That is something else, man. Anyways, let's move on to this next one here. What if Bardock killed Frieza? This is a great question, but it's an unrealistic question. If you're asking, can Bardock kill Frieza himself? Don't think so. If you're asking if Bardock can kill Frieza as a Super Saiyan, don't think so. He cannot beat Frieza with the regular Super Saiyan form. I've talked about this before because Chilled apparently has to be way weaker than Frieza, I would assume. I mean, you got to think that Bardock's base form can't even be close to Goku's base form, or even Vegeta's base form, or even Piccolo's base form, even though he's not a Saiyan. I don't even think Bardock was as strong as Gohan's base form on Namek.
Well, so, like, what, as a Super Saiyan or base?
Just his base form, because unless he got a Zenkai boost from when, you know, Frieza was blowing up the planet, which makes absolutely no sense. So you gotta, like, the Bardock that charged Frieza got beaten up by Dodoria. Now, yes, I know he got a Zenkai boost after it. I understand that.
Did he heal properly after he got beat up by Dodoria? Because he was still pretty bloody.
Well, we don't know for sure, but I mean, let's just make the assumption that he did get a Zenkai boost. I would still think that he would be weaker than Gohan because Gohan was fighting Recoome and then got a Zenkai boost after that. Then was fighting Frieza and then got a Zenkai boost after that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because when he got the power up from Guru, then Vegeta was like, he's the same strength as Vegeta on Earth.
Right.
So it's like, okay, and Vegeta on Earth was way stronger than Bardock.
Exactly. So Gohan
as a kid, 4 years
was stronger
old.
than Bardock. So because of this, I don't think Bardock can beat Frieza by himself. However, in Dragon Ball Multiverse, they had a what if scenario of what if all the Saiyans went into their grade 8 forms, they planned it out, and then they shot like a mouth beam at Frieza's ship all at the same time while he was trying to transform into his second, third, or fourth form. That's a good theory. If the Saiyans like united and got in their monkey forms and it was just too much for Frieza, that's a solid what if scenario, although I still think Frieza would probably be able to stop it because all those Saiyans at 10 times their power is still nothing compared to Frieza at 500 times, because you gotta think, it's like saying a god is fighting against a bunch of strong dogs in terms of comparing their powers. So that's why I think it was a fun idea, but I just don't think it's realistic. But great topic, anonymous person. All right, let's see. What would happen if Gotenks and Kid Buu fought? Not even a fight. Gotenks would wipe him out. We already talked about this earlier, saying that Kid Buu is weaker than Super Buu based off of what I talked to Vegito 1089 about.
Yeah.
All right. What if when Frieza's revived by King Cold, this takes place in the Trunks saga before setting course for Earth. He wanted to plan a full army invasion and combine with Cooler's army, even though he's not canon, to show Earth not to. I'm guessing you want to say fuck with Frieza and his family. Dude.
That'd be fun. Well, because I still think Trunks would just
own
all of them. Trunks would just rip them.
I take it back, Jax. They could still stop him because Goku knows it. We don't know exactly at what exact point Goku knows instant transmission, but it is said in the manga that Goku used his instant transmission to get to Earth and stop Frieza in the original time. It didn't happen in the present because
Trunks was there.
Because for two reasons. Because number one, Trunks was there and he knows Frieza's powers stopped, so he's like, all right, so I'll just take my time. And you remember, it's also a new technique, so he probably didn't have that much practice doing it. So, considering the fact that on top of the fact that Trunks got rid of Frieza, that's why he took longer in the original timeline. But because he knew that they didn't have a chance, he had to risk it. And that's why it happened in the main time. So if Goku uses instant transmission, I still think they're saved. We don't know how that could affect the whole heart virus thing, but that's a very good topic. I don't think I could do a full in-depth analysis on it, but I think it's a very good topic. I do think that this topic would go somewhat along the lines of my what if Goku killed Frieza with the Spirit Bomb arc in terms of, the whole revival stuff. So.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I agree with that completely.
I think it's a great topic.
Trunks would just cut all their heads off and Goku did the same.
Right. All right. What if Vegeta turned Super Saiyan 3? Well, you got to be specific. When? If Vegeta turned Super Saiyan 3 against
when you turn
Fat
Majin
Buu or Majin Buu, Goku would have had to have turned Super Saiyan 3 to fight him. That would have made the energy ridiculously easy for the energy. But at the same time, once they both eat sensu beans and go to fight Fat Buu doesn't stand a chance against two Super Saiyan 3s. It's over. With Vegeta as a Super Saiyan 3, Fat Buu's done. Doesn't have to blow himself up. Finally gets to fight Goku. They resolve it. Kills Fat Buu, and it's all solved. I think that I don't know how Vegeta eventually goes back to being in his regular form and the Majin thing going off of him. But Vegeta's so strong-minded anyways, it doesn't even make a difference, in my honest opinion. I think if the events still happen to go a similar route as it was before, which I doubt, and Kid Buu somehow still comes out, Vegeta would beat Kid Buu. It's not even a question.
Yeah, it's true there. I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's basically it. Maybe they would still have to fuse to fight the Super Buu Han, but that's all.
But I don't think they would even get that far. Honestly, it depends. Though I would say if Vegeta turns Super Saiyan 3, in the original series, they would give the show a pretty good ending, fighting wise. Because you could be you could have Vegeta and Goku have a sort of Rocky 3 type ending where they are both Super Saiyan 3s and they're rivals for each other, but they're friends with each other now as well, and then just charge and then have the ending credits come on. So that'd be pretty badass if they did that. But.
Yeah. But it's a pretty interesting idea though. I actually did a video on why can't Vegeta turn Super Saiyan 3, so check that out if you want. If I remember or if I forget, guys, please say so in the comment section so I remember it. And if you want to remember for yourself, just pause the video and put the comment. I just need one person to do it. Alright, I just saw one of the filler episodes of Dragon Ball Z and I was just disappointed. General Tao could have just tried to slash Super Saiyan Goku for revenge for the hell Goku gave him in the past. All I'm asking is, what would Goku react if Tao tried to attack him?
So that was the Cell Games.
Yeah, in the little filler episode.
He was in 2 of them because he fought Gohan in one, and then he was scared shit. Well, he was like scared like mess out of him, and then like in what was it, the one with the gang leaders?
Yeah, the Mafia.
Yeah, the Mafia.
I think, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it's even close because you got to think.
Goku wouldn't even flinch.
You remember they shot a bullet. I mean, you got to consider how strong Goku's gotten. They shot a bullet at Goku. He caught it and crushed it like it was a little bug. And you remember when they put that little barrier and Goku poked it and it broke.
And that was like bulletproof glass, all that toughest.
Considering the fact that Goku beat him as a kid, and I'm assuming Tao didn't train much, I would think that Tao probably felt as if Goku could have beaten him. So that's why I don't think he charged him. But if he did, what could he really do? If he did charge Goku, what could he really do? Not much. I mean, at this point.
Yeah, especially in Super Saiyan, Goku's form would probably just break the knife as soon as he tried to slash.
In base form, it wouldn't do anything.
Exactly.
So, I mean, as a matter of fact, Jax, we can go all the way back. If he charged Goku base form in Dragon Ball, it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, because he fought Tien and
King Piccolo. Yeah, Tao couldn't do anything to Goku, even if it was Dragon Ball. So that's my honest opinion. All right, let's see. How can I add you? Well, I have a Twitter and I have a Facebook page, and you're probably already subscribed to me, so it's really not that hard to find me. So if you're talking about adding me, I guess I'm all over the place. Just check my banner on my YouTube channel, and I'm all over the place. All right, read this one, Jax.
Which one? The greetings?
Yeah.
Greetings. Doesn't Frieza kill Goku in Goku's Furious Roar last-minute resurrection wish? I think Goku did die. Please let me know why you think or why you think he did not. Thank you in advance.
Take this first, Jax.
Okay. Well, no, he did. I know he didn't die. You're talking about when Frieza was fighting him, and then Gohan came to fight Frieza, and then Goku came out the lava shirtless. No. Because thing is he didn't. I don't think he died at all because he was just so powerful, and it doesn't seem like he would die from an attack like that. Especially if we're going by in the manga. The manga definitely that whole fight with Gohan didn't even happen in the manga, right? Qaaman. I'm not just spewing because I remember reading it and. I don't remember Gohan fighting him in the manga.
Yeah, it never happened in the manga. That was just for the filler episode.
Yeah, it was just a filler thing. So, no, he didn't die, in my honest opinion, because if he... That would just be so random, okay, I died. Oh, God, I'm done. Wait, I got a second life. It's like a video game. It's like a video game situation that is oh, don't worry, I had a spare life.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, Jax, remember something here. I mean, honestly, if Frieza had killed him, don't you think they would have referred to him at some point? Goku would have said, man, I remember when Frieza killed me. There's no way that Frieza killed him. And I remember a subscriber a long time ago saying that there was an inconsistency with the Dragon Balls that proved that Goku could have not been killed. If I remember correctly, because this has been a long time since I've read or saw this episode in full, I remember he said something along the lines of the wishing with the Dragon Balls, because the Earth Dragon Balls were the one that brought the Nameks back.
Yes.
And I think the Namek Dragon Balls made the wish to bring them back to Earth, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, that was the one that brought them back to Earth.
If the Earth Dragon Balls were the ones that brought the people on Namek back to life, then it's impossible for Goku to have died, because Goku was wished back with the Earth Dragon Balls once before. And not to mention, they had not upgraded the Dragon Balls at this point.
Yeah, so they only had one wish.
Exactly. So that is why I say they could have not have wished Goku back with their Dragon Balls. I cannot believe how I remembered this. But man, That's exactly why.
That's true, man. Good
so,
job.
there's your ultimate proof on how that's impossible. All right. Do you think... Oh, by the way, guys, if I said anything wrong, please correct me in the comment section. It's been a long time since I've seen that. All right. Do you think that androids 19 and 20 were in the future Trunks timeline, but Trunks didn't know them, so that's why they weren't meshing? Great question.
20 was
20 obviously had to exist
since Dr. Gero exists, but they killed him so fast. 19 is the one you have to think, like, was he like working on him at all, or was he, you know, just so focused on 18, 17 that he wasn't even, you know, constant, hey, mate, you can have 16 in there since he is based off his son.
I'm gonna say a very elementary argument, but guys, I'm only saying this because the question, this really has no direct answer. Not 20, we obviously know 20 has to exist. Yeah. And I think because 20 exists and the number 20 comes after 19, I would think that 20 would be stronger. Now I don't want to go by that, because who's to say that you work on something but just give it a different number later? I understand that's a very weak argument, but I would think that Gero potentially made 19. I'd say there's a 40% chance, because considering the fact that they were making such a big deal about the energy absorbing models would lead me to believe that maybe Gero was the only energy absorbing model in the future. But who knows, maybe he never made himself an energy absorbing model in the future. If I don't remember correctly, I don't remember looking at his hands directly in the future, because this has been like, that's such a minor detail. Who the hell pays attention to that?
Exactly.
But I mean, I would think that I think it's a pretty good shot that 19 exist and probably wasn't released, similar to Android 16. Maybe he was there but didn't exist. What do you think, Jax?
Well, like, here's the thing. You also remember in that little flashback in the Cell Saga when in their future, Cell was talking about, like, Dr. Gero, and Dr. Gero had turned himself into... Though the flashbacks are kind of, you know, they have their own, like, little things, like when, for example, Gohan having his scar but still having his arm, and the Perfect Cell Saga when they were having flashbacks to that. And so there are a few inconsistencies, but when the androids killed him and then they looked at Cell... he was an android. Like, when they killed him, they, like, kicked his head off, broke him apart, and he was an android. So I think it was possible he was probably, like, working on 19. Like, he was probably, like, looking at that doll that 19 was inspired by and then, like, modeling after it. But then, you know, those two got out and it just went to hell to him.
Right. So I definitely think he was at least... that we both agree that he definitely was at least attempted on. So that's a very good question. And we say the same thing for 16. All right, exactly. Greetings. Doesn't Frieza kill Goku in Goku's Fury? Oh, we just answered this,
we just read that.
All right. When Goku had the heart virus, how come he didn't pass it to anybody else? It's implied that Yamcha took the medicine because he actually physically got closest to Goku and touched him, and maybe Chi-Chi took some too. Yeah. And if they ever did pass it to the others, they would have just used the heart virus medicine anyway. So that's what I think. I think maybe Yamcha and Chi-Chi were affected and they took the virus medicine to heal themselves. And I think that's ultimately it. I don't think there's anything more to it. All right, take this one, Jax.
All right. Hey, Qaaman, what if Goku became a false Super Saiyan when he was fighting King Piccolo? So when he was like 15 years old fighting King Piccolo, if he became like a false one, like when he was fighting Lord Slug. So, okay, that actually, I don't think it is possible because his power level was nowhere near high enough, and I don't think he, you know, had any... I think, like, it was possible he probably could have done something. I'm trying to... I don't think so, because, I remember reading something a while ago in those little Beckett DBZ magazines, so I'm dating myself back.
Yeah, I actually used to remember reading those Beckett magazines, too, back in the day. Man.
Yeah, dude, those, like, I remember them saying something like, you have to have a certain power level before you can reach a Super Saiyan level or anything like that, so I'm going to say no, I don't think. What if he's asking what if, so what if he did, then Piccolo would have died a lot faster, and I don't think that we would have Piccolo today because he probably would have obliterated him.
Exactly. But then again, Jax, this is a false Super Saiyan, so who knows what the requirements to be a false Super Saiyan are.
Yeah, true that.
All right, let's move on from here. What if is this the same question?
Yeah, what if
All right.
we're
All right, troll. Yeah, thank you. All right, lol. Yeah. All right. So Super Kaioken is pretty much Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 2 doubles the power of a Super Saiyan. Kaioken doubles someone's power, or triples, or quadruples, or quintuples, or sextuples. So, Super Kaioken equals Super Saiyan 2. So why doesn't Goku use this against enemies like Cell or the androids? I don't know if I can make a video on it, but actually, Jax, wait a minute. I made a video talking.
Did.
I didn't make a video about this specific thing about why didn't he use it on Cell, but I made a video talking about can Kaioken be as effective as Super Saiyan? And my argument was that Goku could use it, but he could only use it in bursts. And once you get to the really high numbers, even though Goku would have had more training, it would put such an intense amount on his body that it becomes an irrelevant amount of use. And that's why Super Saiyan is more efficient. So maybe Super Kaioken could work, but I think that is such a stress on his body because Super Saiyan is already stressful. Plus Super Saiyan with Kaioken, I think that's why he never used it.
Exactly. I like the person you were in the video with who said like it's the equivalent of just rhyme style, who said the equivalent of just having a super soaker filled to its max and then just like spraying all of it at once. And then I think that's pretty much it. Like once you use that attack, it worked well against Piccolo because it was since his body was dead and he could use it as much as he wanted, and it was an Otherworld tournament and it was also filler.
Wow, Jax, I never even thought about that. I never even pondered the thought that Super Kaioken took place when his body was dead. That's a great observation. I never thought about that at all.
Well, here's another thing. Like, sorry to kind of go on top, but like, if you think about like, when Goku was fighting Janemba, he was a dead Super Saiyan 3, and so like that was his Super Saiyan 3 at his strongest, and so Janemba still like whooped his butt. So like that's one of those things like I just observed. Like, so if he was dead and he was fighting Kid Buu in the Otherworld, he probably would have done a lot better.
That's a great point. And I'll just finally out by pointing out that Piccolo fight was not canon. So if Goku could go Super Saiyan in the afterlife, we would never know because it never really took place in the manga. All right. I know exactly what question I want to end this with. What if in one of the timelines of all the Z fighters died except for Goku and Gohan, and Goku raised Goten, Trunks, and Gohan? Well, I think if Goku's around in any scenario, I think he can solve the situation, because if anything bad happens, he can use instant transmission to get out of the situation. So, and I think that is such a valuable move. I mean, you got to think that even in this Fukatsu no F trailer where we see Goku like looking injured, if Frieza really is going to kill him, if Goku can muster the strength to put his fingers on his head, he can get out of there. That is such a good technique that if you can't beat your opponent, you can just hide. And that's why I think that that's something that, Goku will always have. All right, what if Bills came to Namek to check on him?
Check on who? Frieza? Goku? Well, no, he doesn't know about Goku, so Frieza, I guess. I'm gonna assume this beats Frieza.
I guess. What do you think, Jax?
Well, he probably would. When Frieza, in that manga chapter that just came out, Frieza kind of had this thing like, well, my father warned me never to fight Bills or Majin Buu and never lay a hand on him. But he didn't like have this like fear in his voice when he said, he was just kind of like an annoyed like, it's Beerus, it's Majin Buu, something like that. So I probably think if Beerus went there to check on him, he'd be like, oh, look, I know who you are, whatever, you're still... I don't care what you do. I'm still the most powerful person in the galaxy or something like that. And then Beerus would get pissed off. And Beerus would probably like kill. I honestly think Beerus might have killed him for that. Like, if I'm being honest. Because I think Frieza was just doing so much stuff. And when you think about it, Beerus isn't really a bad guy. He's just not playful. He's just playful, likes to destroy stuff.
Exactly. So my thing is that, but you don't want to piss him off though. But Beerus, if Beerus would kill Frieza right on the top, but for the potential fact, if he's talking about Goku, if Beerus saw Goku, I mean, he would be not impressed about his strength, because let's say we told him about the prophecy before Goku could go Super Saiyan and said this guy could potentially become a Super Saiyan God one day, way before. I mean, he wouldn't be impressed with Goku's power, so... I mean, he wasn't even impressed with Super Saiyan 3. Yeah,
Super Saiyan 3. He was not impressed
with
it at all.
I don't even think this goes anywhere. I think Goku would have maybe... I don't think Beerus would have killed him. Maybe he would, but...
He probably wouldn't have killed him at all. He probably just would have been like, look, I'm not impressed, but you keep working hard, kid.
Just flick him off and wait a couple years.
Exactly.
All right, what if Piccolo had a son? Amazing question. And it's so great. I mean, the next 2 questions are really good too. I mean, actually, the next 5 questions are good, but I gotta end this really soon. What if Piccolo had a son? Let's speed the subjects. What do you think?
Okay, what if like Piccolo made an egg of his own?
Yeah.
And, like, spat it out. Okay.
That's a great question. Why didn't he ever do that?
Well, yeah. That actually.
I want to do a topic on this now.
Yeah, that is a fantastic question because I've never thought about this. I honestly have never like considered like, if he just spit out a son, so would it be like it grow like to be? Would it grow normally, or like would it grow like him?
My goodness, guys! I think I just got an awesome topic, and it's about Piccolo. So you already know I want to do it.
Exactly.
This is a great topic. I know it's not something that has a direct answer, and it's a bit oblivious, but it's such a great what if. I have to do this. Thank you. Any thoughts? Oh, well, I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to save it for the video. But what are you going to say, Jax?
Honestly, all I can say is like, I mean, I guess. He could make. I guess the only way I could think of him doing is like he could have made like a training partner for Gohan or something like that if they were doing it. That's a good question. That is a really great question. Whoever answered that.
Great question, dude. All right, what if Goku and Gohan learned Super Saiyan 2 in the hyperbolic time chamber? Well, it's implied in the manga. I'm sorry, in the anime that Gohan. Well, but it was actually shown that Gohan was Super Saiyan 2 in the anime for a split second. In the manga, it was heavily implied because Goku said he saw something of Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber. Well, what else would he have seen to imply that he could beat Cell? So we would assume he did that same thing in the manga too. So I think if Goku and Gohan both knew and like a controlled Super Saiyan 2, like in the Buu saga where Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta could all just turn it on, I think that Cell would have been fucked.
No, he would have been effed. Like, literally, if Goku knew Super Saiyan 2, I don't even think he would have, like, gone fight. If he could go Super Saiyan 2, he would have probably just finished Cell off himself.
Because you remember, he wanted Gohan to fight Cell because he felt he was the only person who could do it. And remember, Goku, remember, I made a video about why didn't Goku return to the hyperbolic time chamber. Goku didn't return because he knew how strong Cell was. Exactly. And he knew that Cell would have to be astronomically stronger than what he was just standing. He knew Cell wasn't at his full power, but he said that. But he knew how strong Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was, and he's like, Cell has to be insanely stronger than what he is right now to be stronger than what Gohan could be. And he was, and it ended up being Cell wasn't even close to Gohan in regular perfect form.
Exactly.
So, super perfect Cell was closer, but regular perfect Cell wasn't. So I think that Goku would have been like, fuck, unless Cell was much stronger, he's like, damn, I gotta go back in. So I think if they knew it, it's not even close. All right, you know what, Jax, let's be nice to our subscribers, because these next 4 questions are really, really good. All right, what if Goku was able to fight in BoJack Unbound? I think that if he was, I don't think by the minor amount of time that has passed that Goku would be stronger than BoJack if he was fighting seriously. But I think that Goku would have been able to beat, I mean, considering Trunks beat one of those henchmen individually. You remember Trunks was holding his own against the henchmen, but they kept ganging up on him and doing.
That's all they doing.
They kept doing that thing, Jax. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember for that.
Attack. The string attack where they paralyze you.
The little purple strains and like they couldn't move.
Exactly.
So I think because of that, Goku would have had a hard time dealing with them, because I think Goku was stronger than Trunks and Vegeta, but not astronomically to the point where he could just like where that move would be ineffective. And I think that one you have to admit, Jax, that one technique was,
it could hold a Super Saiyan. So like Super Saiyan 2, like
exactly.
No, you're right. Exactly. So Super Saiyan. So it's one of those things like, oh, would it, like, what would that power do? And then also, I think Gohan would have been stronger as well, because, like, remember, Chi-Chi said at the beginning of the movie, Gohan hadn't been doing anything but, like, reading. So, like, this, like,
to get some exercise.
Need to get some exercise.
And some money, too. She wanted some of that money, huh?
Exactly, some of that money to save family. But I don't even know why Bulma's doing it. She's already rich.
That's a great question. I mean, maybe Goku would put up a better fight against them individually. But one last thing I want to point out is that if Super Saiyan Gohan, who was implied to be stronger than Super Saiyan Goku in the Cell games, was being restrained by that one move, I can't see how Goku just avoids it. So I think that cut off guard thing and Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 was the perfect thing to happen.
Exactly.
All right, so let's see. What if Cell never showed up Goku survived the heart virus?
What if, Goku survived the heart virus and so on. Then Goku would kill Android 20, and then
I made a video on what if Goku survived the heart virus, so that's a different topic in itself. What if Cell never showed up is different. So let's focus on what if Goku Cell never showed up.
Well, if he never showed up, then like, okay, so let's look at this. All right, if he never shows up, so. Does Goku still get the heart virus in this, or no?
We already covered that, so let's not talk about the virus. Just Cell never showing up.
Cell never shows up. So like, all right, all the time. Well, would he even get to the androids then? Because like the way I see it is like, if Goku has the heart virus, but he's fighting Android 20, then the same thing happens. But if he doesn't have the heart virus, then he just destroys Android 19, and they destroy 20, and then Android 18 and 17 never get woken up.
Jax, very good point you make, and I just realized that I did a topic that goes in the exact same path as this video, even though it's not the topic. What if you've seen basically all of my videos? What if Android 16 killed Cell would spawn a very similar outcome to this? Because basically it's like, well, let's say just Cell was killed instead of just never showing up. The reason I have a problem with the question just saying what if Cell never showed up is because if Cell never showed us up, then that would mean that the alternate future Trunks, not the future Trunks we know, the alternate future Trunks that got killed by Cell, by the way, guys, that he has to exist for the unseen timeline to exist. I did more in depth about this in my video. That would mean that the alternate future Trunks would have never have been killed, and he would have gone to the unseen timeline. And because he would have never have been killed, then our timeline would have never even existed. So that is the answer to what if Cell never showed up.
Yes. That is pretty much it.
God, man.
That was good.
Breaking down Dragon Ball Z, my friend.
Damn straight, man.
Alright, let's see. What if Goku grew back his tail after Dragon Ball and kept it? Do you think it would have affected the show as a whole? I mean, if you gotta say what point of the series makes a serious impact.
Yeah, because wouldn't the full moon would still be out, so it's like Goku could still transform and some shit. So that would be when it does make him. If I remember them saying the tail does make him stronger, so it's.
You remember Kami somehow repaired the moon at one point. I remember they said in Dragon Ball, but that's a very good point. I mean, if the moon was around, I can't see. I mean, they said that Goku's house goes to bed really early, but if he did, I mean, I would think at some point he might get it cut off. But I mean, I think that he might be able to kill Bulma and Gohan, and somebody would probably have to tell him once and for all, and probably wish Gohan and Chi-Chi back. It's ironic I say Gohan and Chi-Chi, but he actually did kill Gohan technically, Yeah,
he did technically kill Gohan.
Yeah, exactly. So Grandpa Gohan, for those of you who might not understand a lot about Dragon Ball, so yeah, it's a very, very complicated question because it really has to come along what point, and that's my answer. All right, why didn't Goku tell Gohan that he could go Super Saiyan 2?
Oh God. I mean, Gohan really didn't, he wasn't the super fighter. He had no idea that his dad wanted him to fight Cell. He was just if his dad had told him, all right, look, you're Super Saiyan 2, you can kill Cell, you just need to work hard at it, all right? I think Gohan would be going through this stuff I don't know, Dad, just really, I'm not as strong as you, whatever.
I think that you make a good point, Jax, because I think Goku telling him might affect the way Gohan looks at it himself. Yeah. And I think that, because you remember, you kind of need the emotions to bring it up, but one really important thing that I want to say is, remember, the Super Saiyan transformations don't really have names. We give names to them. For example, like Goku said, the only time somebody ever said Super Saiyan 2 in the entire series, not counting Battle of Gods, was when Goku was fighting against Fat Buu, and he said, this is a Saiyan that has ascended past the Super Saiyan, but I guess you could call it a Super Saiyan 2. These things don't have names. We attach names to them. Super Saiyan 4 is not a Super Saiyan 1, 2, or 3. It's a completely different transformation. I don't even consider a Super Saiyan 4 to be even not... I'm not saying anything because it's not canon or canon. I'm just saying I don't even consider Super Saiyan 4 a part of the Super Saiyan family. It's a completely different transformation.
Yeah, that's like the...
It's a state.
Yeah, I remember them saying, like, oh, God, I remember this years ago reading something else, like, the Super Saiyan 4 transformation is, like, honestly the true Super Saiyan 2 transformation, because it was, like, the Great Ape, the Golden Great Ape was the true Super Saiyan, and then, you know, you turn into the Super Saiyan. So, yeah, it's a completely different state.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, man, I mean, they call it Super Saiyan 4 because they're like, what the hell are we going to call it? It's a lot stronger than the last one, so let's attach a name to it.
Yeah.
So that's honestly my opinion. I mean, technically, Gotenks never even won Super Saiyan 3, even though he theoretically could.
Yeah, theoretically. That's a key thing
all right,
here.
So, yeah, I think if Goku told... the reason Goku didn't tell Gohan was because I felt that Gohan should know how to get his powers out on his own. All right, Jax, so it looks like we've answered a lot of questions today. Did you get my last question? Jax and I will probably close out. Jax, would you like to tell them about whether or not they got their last question or not based off of this nice little number up here?
Oh, yeah, we got your last question. All 12,800. Oh, what I messed up, 11,800.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you're anonymous, so I wouldn't know, but yeah, that's basically been it for this video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been one of the best questionnaires that I have ever done. I don't think you know, to be honest, I'm gonna flat out say it, I think this is the best questionnaire I've ever had. I've done other great questionnaires, but I don't think I've ever gotten such a great pool of questions, you know, that really caused me to think this much about Dragon Ball Z. So I really appreciate it, Jax. It's great to have you on this, because
thank you very much for having me, man.
I'll put you as a guest, and you know, for you guys too, you know, if you know, if I see you around the comments, and you know, I'll give you guys a chance to potentially come on in one of these questionnaires. But don't be upset if I don't specifically pick you, because there's a lot of other people who want to come on them. So guys, I'll do a selection process, but I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I'll do my best to put out these questionnaires as frequently as possible. And remember that little secret that I told you earlier in the video, that technically I will upload this 2 questionnaires from now, so you will see one before that takes place, but really that one actually took place afterwards. So that's our little secret. But that's been fun for today, guys. Say in the comment section below, I'd really like it if you said Super Saiyan Ozaru, just to know how many of you actually stuck around for the whole 1 hour and 13 minutes of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed. So most importantly, over everything else, what, Jax?
All right, I want all of you to have a great day.
Yeah.
We messed up.
Well, let me teach you the real way, Jax.
Show me how to do it.
Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.
I'm out, man.